You are listening to Perfectly Placed podcast.
Perfectly placed, right where you need it. Perfectly placed, go on and repeat it. Press play, stay close, you'll feel a spark. Perfectly placed, right from the start.
Hello, welcome to the next episode of Perfectly Placed. Hello, Suzanne.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm very good.
I'm looking
Very
forward
good.
to today's episode, actually. I'm
Are you?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting my teeth into it.
Well, do you know why Suzanne's looking forward to it? Because she's actually the guest.
Yay!
That didn't mean that she got coffee and biscuits. So
Yeah, no,
that
I'm
our
not
other guests do,
treated.
actually.
I'm not treated the same as all the other guests. Not fair.
So we thought it'd be really interesting today to talk about new builds because we get asked about new builds all the time. Obviously, in Spain, you can either buy, well, anywhere I suppose, you can buy a resale property or you can buy a new build. And new builds have had in the past, I think, some bad press.
Yeah.
Especially in the home countries. There's been issues in the past with developments not being built, etc., which is sort of still talked about. But as we're going to discuss, that doesn't happen in the same way. There's more safeguards that you need to make sure
Absolutely.
that are in place. I mean, it obviously can still happen, but not if these safeguards are in place. So it's all about doing due diligence, really, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if we're getting straight into it, the number one concern is that people worry that there's developer will run into financial problems, the property will not be completed on time, missing agreed completion dates. But there are definitely procedures in place to address that now. So number one, it's not in developers' interests to not finish on time. And because at the moment, like you say, there are lots of new builds being built, especially in Estepona, which we'll get onto as well. Most of the big developers have very strict timelines to adhere to because they've got new projects to move on to. And financially, it doesn't make any sense for them not to meet their deadlines. Equally, if they don't meet their deadlines, there are clauses included in your contract where they have to pay penalties for late fees. I mean, we're not talking like 4-week late fees. It's more into like the 3 or the 4 months. But actually, I think in the last 5 years, since there was one big development that didn't get finished in about 2016. And I think independent villas sometimes that start may not get finished. But in the last 5 years, from the new builds that I've seen being built by all the large developers like Neonor and Kronos, they have all, Advantia, they have all met their deadlines. And I've just not seen any developers not finish. I mean, remember as well that, these are big companies. They're not small companies. They're very financially sound companies that are developing here.
We had some clients that actually
Finished
came
it.
early, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we had a few panicking clients that didn't have their money in place until that, obviously they'd had a date and they had come before, but they'd managed to, the developer actually let them hold, didn't they, until the actual confirmed date came around. But so actually it is in their interest to build them and move on to the next development at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Sure.
I mean, the reason why you're leading on this is because you are our new build expert, aren't you?
I have sold a lot of new builds. And I think for me, the main thing about if you want to buy a new build, there are lots of advantages to buying a new build. I mean, if you cross it over with the rental business, a lot of our rental properties are really, really popular that are new builds, aren't they?
Really, really popular.
Because they're clean, they're contemporary, they're newly furnished. So they definitely, as an investment, appeal to the people that want to rent out properties because when you advertise them, everything just looks so clean and modern. Yeah. And when you're coming on holiday, you want to feel like you can get into an apartment that isn't going to feel like it needs some deep cleaning. And the the
Yeah.
apartments are so modern and clean looking,
Yeah.
and the facilities are all, with all new builds now, especially if you're doing remote working. So you're looking to do like a longer rental. So you want to do a midterm, or even if you're coming on holiday and you need to work remotely, because a lot of, we've got clients that
Yeah.
clients that do that.
Yeah, look, yeah.
They have co-working spaces. Most of them have gyms.
Yeah.
They have community areas, and that makes them very attractive for people that want to
Yeah.
rent out and
Yeah.
like combine a holiday with work.
Absolutely. All our new build rentals are really, really successful.
Really
aren't they?
popular.
Yeah.
The thing is about new builds, you just need to choose your agent wisely,
Yeah.
because a lot of times when you buy a new build, the agents, let's be transparent about it. Agents get paid more commission.
Yeah.
On new builds, and so a lot of times agents will push their clients into buying new builds, even if it's not right for their client.
Yeah.
And that's where it's really important that you have a relationship with your agent, and that you feel that you can trust them, that that they've been around a while. You can talk to previous clients of theirs, because then you can see that that's not their motive.
Well, and also the big difference is that agents get paid commission on new builds after the second payment is made. So the agent could have received their commission, but you won't take the keys for another year, maybe 18 months.
And then they're not there.
And then they're not there. Whereas with a resale, obviously, they only get paid commission at completion at the notary. So if there's any problems, then they're there. You've seen them recently, but they could have in that time moved on. So it's really important, isn't it, to get an agent who's been around a long time.
Well, that's also where we've positioned ourselves differently.
Yeah.
Because we are a rental agency, a lot of the people that buy new builds with us are looking for the whole service.
They are, yeah.
So, and I mean, we'll get onto that, but I mean, even before they get to using us as a rental agent, you've got to have someone. I mean, listen, yesterday I drove past a new build property that I have from a Hungarian client, and he's really worried because they should have finished in June and they've got a delay till July.
Wow.
So, and he's worried about it.
Yeah.
And so he's texted me, and I've driven past it. I've taken videos.
Yeah.
I've sent it to him. And I think that's, that the clients that we have need that reassurance. And the fact that we can send them the little videos and say, don't worry. And the fact that we have relationships with the agents that work for the developers, because we've sold quite a few and we know them, that also really helps.
Yeah.
But
and also the snagging service.
Well, absolutely. So if you go from, first of all, identifying the new build. So you have to be really careful when you buy a new build to really choose carefully, because sometimes you'll be saying, well, brilliant, I've got a sea view. Amazing that you've got a sea view, but what's underneath that sea view? Have you got a very busy road underneath that sea view? Do you have a lot of foot traffic? Do you have a petrol station underneath it?
Yeah.
Because yes, you've got a sea view, but your agent needs to know the area so they can point out to you and say, you've got a sea view, but look, you've got a 24-hour petrol station underneath you that has got a car wash that will be noisy.
Yeah.
So
intermittently noisy.
So, and the thing is, if you have an agent that is going to see you right through, they've got to face you.
Yeah.
And they've got to say, why didn't you point that out?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
absolutely.
it's really important. But if your agent is transient and they go when you've signed the PPC and you've got no comeback, they've got no comeback, then that's when new builds are difficult.
Yeah.
So the moral of the story is definitely find an agent that is going to see you through.
Yeah.
And then you need somebody that is going to be on your side when it comes to snagging.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, that's huge. We haven't seen a new build property that hasn't needed things doing to it, have we? I don't think we've ever walked into a new build and said, this is perfect. Ever.
Never.
Ever.
And it will never be perfect.
No. So it's really important because there is a time limit, and often the developers will be a little vague about the time limit that you've got. So really you need your agent to be there with ideally a builder, somebody who can go in and identify everything, do a comprehensive list, get it into the developer within the time frame, and then work with the developer to get them resolved, because the one who shouts loudest is the one who gets their repairs done quickest.
Yes, and the thing is that you actually only get about an hour.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure you go with someone who has someone that does the snagging, which is, if you're not English and you don't know the word snagging, someone. So what happens is the developer will give you an hour to check, and sometimes they don't even give you any opportunity to check before you buy it.
No.
So sometimes you can only go in after you've bought it.
Yeah, and which is pretty normal, to be honest. It is pretty standard to do that.
Yeah. So, but what you need to have somebody that goes in that really is knowledgeable and has worked in Spanish new builds before, but also has worked in, resale properties before, so that they know how the Spanish buildings work. So you definitely need to have that service. You need to find someone and you need to have it ready. And also obviously we've been with our clients and we've done snagging with our clients, and the developers have an app now where you record all the faults, which is really good. But obviously you have to make sure someone is overseeing that, which again, a lot of our clients do use. And what happens is a lot of the time, because we might have more than one or two apartments in the same development and they're completed at the same time. I mean, in my experience, I've got to know a lot of the maintenance workers and the painters. And because I'm there checking that they've done it, I'll also then say, oh, can you just come in and finish up in this apartment as well? Yeah, and so that's where that local contact and making sure that you're there and that you have an agent that's there checking that the faults are done after they're recorded.
And also it's worth the developers staying in with the agents. The agents want to please us because we'll sell more of their properties. The owner has probably bought his property, they've got their money, and they haven't got the same amount of clout that we would probably have on site of getting something.
And
changed.
also a lot of the maintenance workers that are doing it are local, and we know them. So we can pull in favours.
No, exactly.
But you definitely. So once you've uploaded it, you definitely need to make sure that you've got someone checking that those faults are being addressed.
Yeah,
that's really important.
It's really, really important. So with new builds, a lot of people are worried about unexpected expenses.
Well, I mean, there's a building warranty, so that any structural work is always covered under the building warranty. The snagging, I think you normally have a period. I can't remember exactly.
It differs between developers, doesn't it? But it's usually like a month. Yeah.
So it's a month to 6 weeks, which again then goes back to making sure that that snagging's done after you've uploaded it, and get it uploaded on the app ASAP. So get your snagger in place from the day you close, get it uploaded as soon as possible, and then make sure that all the issues are addressed and checked.
You'd probably pay about, what do you think, about €400 or €500 for a snagger to do the work. It's about that amount, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Because the snagger also has to check things which some people really don't remember, because it's all really overwhelming. You get delivered a project. No, they have to switch the aircon on and leave it running. They have to make sure the appliances work, and sometimes they have to go back because the water's not on and the electricity's not on. So it's not necessarily like your snagger just does one visit. They have to maybe do a couple in order to check these things.
To look for tiny scratches. Tiny scratches on the windows.
Do the persianas open and shut? Are the windows aligned properly? Are there scratches in the windows? I mean, we've found that, haven't we? Where we've had front doors replaced. We've had whole windows replaced. And
kitchens. Kitchens is often where a lot of the snagging comes, doesn't it?
Yeah. But this shouldn't be put you off. You just have to have process put in place.
No, absolutely. Yeah. No. It's all you can remedy all of the problems that you have. Yeah. You just need to make sure that you have good
I think the
people
hidden
for
cost
you.
with new builds comes with furniture, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You have to, because sometimes you think, I'll furnish it, but then you maybe underestimate, because actually when you furnish a new build for a rental or an investment, you do have to make sure that you have like your soft furnishing, your curtains. They're really important, because if you get cheap curtains, it looks bad in photos.
Yeah.
You've got to really pay special attention to how you furnish it, because how you furnish it will definitely make a difference to how it comes across when you're advertising on the portals.
Yeah, and also you're starting right from the beginning, aren't
Yeah,
you?
so-
You literally have nothing.
Yeah,
You don't
toilet
have a
brushes,
knife,
toothbrush holders.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's absolutely everything. I mean,
Yeah.
most of our rental properties are probably about between 20 to 25,000 for furniture, aren't they?
Yeah.
Complete.
Yeah.
For the whole package.
Yeah, good beds. You can't skimp
Yeah.
on beds, because
No,
then
you
you'll
can't,
get
no.
complaints from your holiday makers.
Sofas.
Yeah, mattress
Yeah.
protectors,
Yeah.
TV, electrical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're not renting, then of course you still want it to be really comfortable for yourselves,
Yeah.
or for whatever guests you might have coming down.
Yeah, and then if you're
So-
renting, you need to buy duplicates of everything as
Of
well.
course, yeah.
Beach towels.
Yeah.
All those things make a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're just things that you have to budget for.
Yeah.
Really, we should do something maybe on our website, like a checklist.
Yeah.
Something that's got everything on it that you need for renting, either, for if you're going to rent it out, or for if you're going to use it yourself. It's pretty much the same list.
Yeah.
Except for you obviously don't need duplicates.
Yeah.
So
The other hidden cost, going back to your hidden cost question, is
Yeah.
remember you pay more tax when you buy a new build.
yes, of course.
So it's
yeah.
7% when you buy resale and 10%.
Yeah.
Overall, the costs are
Yeah.
approximately 10%.
For the either.
Yeah. Yeah. So to be clear, we pay the client will pay 10% EVA
Yeah.
on a new build and 7% on resale.
Okay, so it just pushes those initial costs up slightly, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Yeah. So finally, what's the payment terms on a new build?
So it does depend on the new build you buy, but as a rule of thumb, general, you pay a €6,000 deposit. Then when you go to sign the PPC, which is normally about 30 days later, the private purchase contract, it's normally about 30 days later, you pay 30% minus the 6,000 that you would have paid, and then you pay the rest on completion. However, there are some developments that will ask you to pay another instalment like halfway through.
Right.
But in general, it's that. But I have seen that. I have seen that people are paying instalments maybe halfway through which actually clients quite like.
Yeah.
Because it staggers it.
Yeah, and
But-
that's very clear, isn't it?
Oh,
right
absolutely.
from the off.
Yeah.
Right from the off, you get the payment schedule,
terms, yeah.
and that doesn't change.
So to summarise, what you've got to think is that you're paying more tax. There's always bank guarantees in place. I don't know if we've mentioned that.
Yeah.
So your money's always protected by law.
Yeah.
A new build must have a bank guarantee in place, and all the developers and all the agents that work for the developers should be able to show you a copy of that bank guarantee.
Yeah, you must.
And
ask
if they
for that.
can't, then you need to ask them why.
Yeah.
So always ask for bank guarantee. Always choose well. Always make sure you choose well. You will always get the sales pitch that you have to hurry up and decide.
Yeah.
I've got a client in the wings waiting to buy this one.
Yeah.
Don't be bullied.
Don't be rushed.
You
no.
do have to make decisions quicker than you do in your normal country, because there's not just one nationality buying.
Yeah.
We've got 56 nationalities buying in Estepona. Estepona is very, very popular.
Yeah.
And the best units will always be chosen quickly.
Yeah.
And also, really important, remember when you're buying a new build that to try and get in the first release, because what happens is a developer will release the certain amount of apartments, and then the next release the price increases. So try and buy in the first release if you can.
That's where people really make the money. Isn't
That's
it?
where people
Yeah.
make the money. Absolutely.
You have to wait longer, obviously.
Yes.
But it's
Yeah.
worth it. If you can wait longer, it's worth it.
But you get first choice of the apartments and you get the cheaper prices.
Yeah.
Although sometimes developers will hold back like the nicer ones because they know they're going to be able to sell them for a higher price. So make sure you choose wisely. Make sure you have somebody there to snag. Make sure you've got a well-established agent that is going to be around to help you when you complete. Remember the additional costs of furniture packages, and what else? I think that's probably.
Well, and also the surrounding areas, which you covered before, didn't you?
Yeah.
But if somebody says to you, this view will not be built on,
Yeah.
then there's a very good chance that it might be. You've
Yeah.
got to consider that. You've got
Yeah.
to consider the fact that anywhere around you could be built on,
Especially
in the
here.
future.
Yeah. I mean, your solicitor could always do their due diligence
Yeah.
and find out. You know, if somebody tells you can't be built on, you always should get that backed up by a solicitor.
absolutely.
Never just listen to an agent.
No.
Always make sure that you do your due diligence
Yeah.
with your solicitor.
Yeah. Brilliant. Okay, well, I think that's useful. If anyone's got any questions,
Yeah.
just fire them off to us. And if you're in Estepona, come and buy with us.
Yeah. Come and have a look at some new builds with us.
Yeah, definitely. So if you enjoyed this episode, then share,
Like.
subscribe, and we'll see you again soon.
See you soon.
See
Any
you.
questions, let us know.
Bye.
Bye.
Perfectly